All right, welcome back again to our webinar on the Intrapreneurs Tribe. I want to greet everyone again. Thank you for joining this meeting and thank you for joining on time. And I also want to inform us that our speakers are right here with us. They are ready to dish out from the wealth of their experience to share with us what they have. For today, we are looking at from employee to intrapreneur making the leap. From employee to intrapreneur making the leap. The last webinar we had, we looked at how we can develop the intrapreneur's mindset. And today we are looking at why you are developing that intrapreneur's mindset. How then can you make that leap from an employee to becoming an intrapreneur in the organization wherever you work? And today we have on the call, we have our own Ugonna Ginigeme, and we also have Oludayo Adeniyi. Both of them are here. They are ready to dish out from their word of experience. I just want us to use the emoji, clapping emoji, to just welcome them to our midst to speak with us this evening. Thank you very much. All right, I can see that. I can see that all of us are clapping here. Yes, that's good. That's good. That's good. Well done. Well done. All right, for us to commence, I would like to read out kind of a little bit about our facilitators or our speakers that are here on the call with us. And for the first one, I'll read the profile of Oludayo Adeniyi. She is renowned as the Abundance Queen. Oludayo Adeniyi is a visionary thought leader and catalyst for transformation with nearly 2 decades of experience empowering individuals and organizations to embrace abundance and achieve extraordinary success. As the founder of Eximius and the School of Abundance, Oludayo is passionately dedicated to helping professionals and entrepreneurs unlock their full potential, reframe success, and thrive with ease. A globally celebrated speaker, transformational coach, and author of the acclaimed book, The Abundance Code, Cultivating and Mastering a Wealth Mindset, Oludayo shares groundbreaking insights on mindset shifts, personal development, and wealth creation. Her teachings inspire individuals to transcend limitations and design lives filled with possibility and purpose. Oludayo's influence extends across Africa and beyond. She is the host of Building the Continent, a weekly show on Power FM Zambia, a weekly and motivates and equips entrepreneurs. Her trailblazing work has earned her numerous accolades, including the Distinguished Nigerian Award 2024, Ambitious Professional Award 2023, recognition as one of the 50 Inspirational Connections on LinkedIn 2023, Women Who Inspire with Their Work 2022, and 60 Women to Watch Out for 2021. Oludayo has been featured on leading media platforms such as Power FM Zambia, Arise TV, STV, Business Day, Vanguard Newspaper, National Newspaper, City People, and Inside Business Africa. She is a distinguished fellow of the Chartered Institute of Personal Management, FCIPM, and a member of Forbes community, leveraging her expertise to inspire excellence in leadership, business, and personal growth. I want us all to welcome Oludayo into the meeting today. Let's clap again to welcome Oludayo, who is here to share from the wealth of her experience. You've heard her profile, so we are ready to hear from her. Thank you very much. All right. Now the second speaker we have is Ugonna Ginigeme. Ugonna is a 2X startup founder, with over a decade of experience in the retail industry, including online retail, B2B, B2C, e-commerce, and traditional retail, manufacturing, wholesale, and retail. With clients across multiple African countries, which includes Ghana, Togo, Benin Republic, and Nigeria, to mention but a few. He is currently the co-founder and CEO of Figure, a B2B wholesale marketplace that is optimizing product sourcing end-to-end for SMEs across Africa. His passion for entrepreneurship led to him launching many businesses as a student, and his business failures and that of many other entrepreneurs around him led him to launch Varsity while still in school, which he successfully bootstrapped to over 10,000 businesses in Nigeria. As a founder, he has been a cohort member of Microsoft Accelerator, Forbes Digital Accelerator, and Sisters Financial Times Accelerator. Ugonna is also an alumnus of Leap Africa Social Innovators Program, Y Combinator Startup School, and 22 on Sloan Accelerator. He is currently a member of the First BLK Community, Premier Business Network, and many other exclusive communities for leading founders. He loves to speak to youths and empower entrepreneurs. Ugonna attended the University of Ibadan, where he studied industrial and production engineering. And professionally, he is a graduate member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He possesses professional certifications in areas like project management, enterprise resource planning, public speaking, and leadership, to mention a few. In his free time, he loves to meet new people, hang out with friends, or play games, especially chess and Monopoly. And to add to it also, Ugonna's company, Figure, won the recent award from Wema Bank. He won his Figure company, won that recent award from Wema Bank. So he might be sharing a little bit more about all that. So let's also welcome Ugonna to our midst this evening. All right, thank you very much. Okay, moving on. So we have Ugonna. I think maybe they will just speak to us. For today, we're going to be having a panel discussion. So I would like to have Ugonna and Oludayo's videos on so that we can start. All right.
Hello.
I think she's frozen.
Yeah. Hi, Oludayo.
Hi, Ugonna. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. I think she's frozen.
Yep.
Where today or 4 days? All right, apologies, please, for that break in transmission. All right, do we have Oludayo and Ugonna on?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we're on.
Yeah, can you hear me clearly? Okay, I would love to have you speak to us first, Oludayo, and then Ugonna before we can jump onto the panel discussion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's really a pleasure to be speaking with this amazing tribe. I'm excited to be here, and it's been a pleasure to be here and to be contributing to this interesting conversation today. And I'm meeting Ugona for the first time, so nice to meet you all also on this call. And I believe
Pleasure.
it's going to be an amazing time learning and sharing on this platform. So thank you so much, and welcome everyone here.
All right, Ugonna, can we hear from you, please?
Hi guys. Hope everyone is doing great. It's a pleasure to be here and to speak with everyone, share my thoughts, also learn from Oludayo, learn from Chinyere, learn from everyone else here. So thank you guys so much and looking forward to an amazing conversation.
All right. Thank you very much. So we'll jump onto the panel discussion immediately. All right. So I'm going to throw the questions to Ogona and Oludayo, and they'll respond to our questions. So for today, the first question we have here is, who is an entrepreneur? Who is an intrapreneur? And what are the key differences between a regular employee and an intrapreneur? Considering that we're looking at moving from an employee to an intrapreneur, we want to make that leap. So we want to differentiate between that regular employee and intrapreneur. Can you share more light on that today? Thank you.
All right, thank you. I believe that's for me, right?
Yes, for Uganda, yes.
Okay. All right, thanks. That's a great question. So the first thing I would say is it all starts with the mindset, right? It all starts with the mindset. So first, what we need to understand is who is an entrepreneur, right? An entrepreneur is an employee that functions like an entrepreneur, that thinks like an entrepreneur, that acts like an entrepreneur. And if we say an entrepreneur functions, thinks, and acts like an entrepreneur, then we need to understand who is an entrepreneur. Basically, an entrepreneur is a person who creates products or services to solve problems, period. Right? The mindset of an entrepreneur is all about solving problems. And to solve problems, you're creating products or you're creating services, right? Most of the time, these products or services lead to you starting a business, employing people, and eventually solving the problem. But as an intrapreneur, you're employed, right? You have a job. Now, in that job, your mindset is that of how do I solve problem? In this my job, we know what we like all like five. How do I create products? How do I create services? How do I, do things that move the company forward, right? And so your approach to work is totally different. The first major trait of an intrapreneur is ownership. You have to own the work. You have to own the task. You have to see yourself as an owner of the company. It's not just that, oh, you want to come, do what they ask you to do and then go home. No, it's about you wanting to create a solution. Even if that means you work, people typically work 9 to 5, but if that means you working 9 to 9, Monday to Sunday, going the extra mile, developing yourself, learning, doing whatever it takes to solve a problem by creating a product or service or improving a product or service, that's the mindset you need to have as an intrapreneur. And if you ever plan to own your own business or you ever plan to, start a company, you currently have a job, you need to have that mindset of an intrapreneur. You need to be able to own your job. You need to be able to see yourself as an owner of the company. You need to be able to do whatever it takes to contribute positively to solving a problem, to creating a new product, creating a new service, or improving an existing product or service. So yeah, that's it's all about the mindset shift, ownership, resilience, learning, unlearning, relearning, emotional intelligence as well. Because sometimes being an entrepreneur can be tricky. Because remember, you're not the owner of the company, but yet you're trying to create a new product or a new service, right? So you need to manage your fellow employees because sometimes you can have pushbacks from your employees like you two do. Now only you did here. Why is it you that you're overdoing? You're doing so you need to be able to manage your employees. You might also have superiors, right? Most likely your line managers and so on. Need to be able to properly manage them, your CEO and C-level executive, right? So it's not the easiest thing to do, but I can assure you it's very, very rewarding. And it's what I would advise everyone to do. And I think everybody on this call already is looking to make that leap or is already an entrepreneur. So stay on it, own the job, own the problem, own the solution, and do whatever it takes to deliver results. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Gunnar. So over to you, Oludayo. The question here is, can you share your personal journey of transitioning from an employee to an entrepreneur and what inspired you? Yes, I understand you are a CEO of a company today now, but you were working somewhere, and for you to have transitioned to become a CEO of your company today, you had that entrepreneur's mindset where you were working. So when you started as an employee and you were able to transition from being an employee to becoming an entrepreneur in your offices where you worked, what inspired you? Can you share your personal journey with us? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a beautiful question. And I'm going to take us a bit back, in addition to what Ogona has said. So for me, he said something that is profound, that an entrepreneur is someone, being an entrepreneur starts from your mindset. And I would say that the journey from transitioning from being an employee to an employer, to an entrepreneur, then now to a CEO, started for me many years back. For every one of us, we're brought up in this family, go to school, get a good grade so you can get a good job. So the whole idea was that when you get that job, you are made, right? And I remember the first time I got a paycheck, and I looked at the paycheck and I went back home to say, how many years will I have to work to be able to buy a car? How many years will I be able to work to be able to live the kind of life that I wanted to live? And that exposed me to asking different questions, because I discovered that this job that I said I should get, if I focus on this job like this, I won't achieve my goals. So 3 important things inspired me to transition into becoming an entrepreneur. Number 1 was my desire for success. I love good life. I usually say that. I had big dreams. I wanted to do great things for myself. So that was one, an internal one. Then the second one was the desire for impact. I discovered that I liked anything that had to do with empowering people, making people better than they used to be. And then the third thing was that I had this passion for growth, personal development. So bringing all of these 3 together, and then looking at that paycheck that I had, and I'm like, how will I be able to do this? And then what happened for me, I started reading books. I remember when I came across Think and Grow, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And that just helped me see what it means to have a job, what it means to own it, to have that ownership mindset, and what it truly means to build wealth. Because the whole idea for every one of us when we started working was the fact that they told us when we get that job, our life will be better. So most of us got into jobs just for better life, to collect salary, to live that life. But what nobody told us is that that is not the secret to the successful life that we are all looking for. That is the missing gap. So I started asking questions. When I saw that paycheck, I like, this is no way. There was something, that I need to find out. So that was when I started reading books, I discovered that the key to success is value creation. So I started asking myself, so if I'm working in an organization, how do I create value? So that became my mindset. And I found myself in an environment where we're being taught entrepreneurship. I was going to Daystar then, 7 a.m. every Sunday. We had entrepreneurship class. So we're being taught how to be entrepreneurs, even though we're going to look for jobs. So that mindset helped me to say, so I'm meant to be creating value. So I remember when I got my first job, those days when we do interviews, you just have plenty of people. Now people do interview online, you don't even know what's happening. We write tests. I remember when going for the test, And then when it was time for interview, we're in that hall, so many graduates, and people were talking, when I get this job, I'm going to leave, I'll go to this bank, I'll go to that bank. I was quiet. I can't forget these scenarios in my life. And I was quiet. And they came to me and they said, you have not said anything. You just kept quiet. I said, what are you going to do when you get this job? And I can't forget what I said. I said, I'm going to work in this organization for two years. And I'm going to learn everything that I need to learn in this organization. And I'm going to transition to a management role. Everybody was taken aback, like, excuse me, which planet are you? Even I was taken aback from my response. Like, how did I think about that? But believe you me, I spent only 2 years in that organization and I moved to a management role. Why am I sharing this? It's a mindset thing. It emanates first from your view of life. You see, we have been sold so many narratives that is making us live life recklessly or making us not achieve our goals. Because go to school, get a good grade. A job does not guarantee your success. What guarantees your success is the value that you create. Because the essence of you being employed in an organization in the first place is because HR felt you had a value and you could bridge the gap in the organization. So they brought you in as a value-oriented person to help fill that gap. But most of us just think we come in there for jobs. So having that mindset shift for me helped me when I started working to say, oh, it is value that I should be creating. So right from when I started working, from the first day, I was all about value. I remember when I was sent on a training program, my first ever training program. And you know, when you come back from training, you will write a report. When I was done writing that report as a new graduate, you know, when I was done writing that report, my MD minuted on that report and said, I would like to meet this person. It is value. So for me, it started based on these three things, that my desire for success. I wanted to succeed in life. So I started asking questions. I was reading books. And then I found myself in an environment that also helped me to be able to truly understand what it means to be an entrepreneur. And one thing for me was that I didn't like entrepreneurship. I never saw myself as somebody that could run a business. I just saw myself as an employee that was meant to support someone. But I said to myself, in that support, I will be the best for it. So it was first that mindset, my desire for success, that propelled me in that direction. And in everything that I was doing, I was asking, how do I improve this? How do I do this? And one of the things I got so much was, your own is too much. What is it, self? Why are you the only one here? But eventually, these same people came back to be like, see how you are succeeding. See how we're all doing the same thing, but that value creation, you know, always seeking to do better, to improve the system, to taking the job as if it was mine, all started from that. And then I'm the firstborn in our family. You know, firstborn, they used to train us to be responsible. So those were the things so mine started from, you know, my background and all of that. And then learning from people, the desire for success, the desire for impact. I can't see myself in a place and not contribute value. I usually say this, that there's nobody that is like me. We have over 7 billion people on the planet Earth. Some people have even died. I don't know how many billions have died. But none, the ones that are dead, the ones that are alive, none is like me. So that means I am here to contribute something. So whether I choose to be an employee or I choose to be an entrepreneur, I must bring that value to the table. You must meet me and feel that difference that you have met a unique being. That is the way I live my life. And that is one thing that has helped me. So I never knew I could run a company. So look at me now. Imagine if I didn't cultivate that mindset. I'll be struggling by now. And that's why a lot of employees struggle, because they are not harnessing the right skills and mindset that can help them succeed in the future. Thank you.
Wow. About value creation. Nobody is like me. Out of all the people in the world, in the planet Earth, I must see myself as a different being, and I must make my impact. I must create that value wherever I am. Thank you so much, Oludayo. Thank you. Now, the next question goes to Ugonna, and the question says, what are some common mistakes to avoid when transitioning from employee to intrapreneur? What are those common mistakes? Yes, we might have that, might say, tell ourselves, yeah, I want to transition, I want to become an entrepreneur, but there are certain mistakes that one might be making that at the end of the day, you get yourself demoralized because you are not seeing the success that you expected to see. What are those mistakes? Please share with us. Thank you.
You're muted. You're muted, Guna.
Oh,
So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Oludaya. And thanks for that question, Cherry. So the mistakes are typically around the mindset. So first of all, when you're transitioning, because you think you're trying to do a good thing, right? You're trying to solve a problem, you're trying to take ownership, you expect everybody to support you, right? You think that, oh, because I'm trying to transition now, it's going to be easy, people are going to support you. If you have that mindset, you'll be disappointed. You know what they say, expectation is the mother of disappointment, right? You expect that, oh, your boss will start clapping, start jumping, your colleagues will be happy. No, most times you will get more pushbacks than you typically anticipate, right? People are not happy about it for whatever reason, because sometimes your success might make other people look bad, right? Just like what Oludayo said, she was getting it firsthand. Now only you waka come, now only you there here. Why is it always you? Blah 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 blah. So the mistake is expecting that everybody will just queue up and support you on this journey. No, you're going to get a lot of pushbacks. And that mistake you make is you think it's going to be easy, or it's going to be easier. No, it's going to be very, very difficult. So I tell people that one of the hardest things I think anybody can do is to start a business. Now, the second, that is to become an entrepreneur. I think the second hardest thing is to be an intrapreneur, right? Because you're an entrepreneur that is employed. So you're an entrepreneur with a boss, with an orga that you have to manage, right? You have uplines, you have that you have to manage. So you have to be able to just properly, if you expect that, oh, these people will support you, or it's going to be easy. Another mistake people make is they think is, you know what they say, church or talk is by talk. It's not by talk. You have to show workings, right? It's all about workings. It's not just, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, I want to know. You have to show workings, right? You have to put in the work and you have to deliver the result. Efforts are good, but it's really about results, right? So if you think you just put in some effort and then you get whatever accolades or success, it's not true. You have to be focused on the results. You know, like they say, results terminate insults, right? When you start getting the results, even your boss that's not like what we were doing before will be forced to recognize your effort. But getting results is very, very difficult. So don't think it's going to be easy. Another mistake people often make is they underestimate the amount of learning, unlearning, and relearning that has to go on if you're going to transition, right? So there are some things you think you know, but you're wrong. So you have to unlearn, you know. There are some things you actually don't know, and sometimes you don't even know what you don't know, right? So you have to first of all discover what don't I know, then what do I have to learn, right? And then there are some things you knew that were correct, but because there has been additional information or certain changes, you need to relearn. You know, so many times people underestimate the amount of learning or learning and relearning that has to go on if you're going to transition, right? And then finally, this one is a bit tricky, but it has to do with what do they call this? The mental health. Your mental health will shake small because it will affect your mental health because you're doing a lot more. You're taking on a lot more responsibilities than your peers, right? You're taking on a lot more responsibilities than an average employee would. You know, you might not see the immediate result or the immediate gratification for the additional work and responsibilities you're taking on. And so these things, if you're not careful, can negatively affect your mental health. You know, it's like you're stressed, you're putting so much. Sometimes your boss might even be the one getting the accolades. Your manager might be the one getting the accolades, and your manager might not even pass any recognition to you. So it could affect you like, now me they do all the work. If monkey they work, baboon they chop. You know, a monkey they work, now baboon they clap for. Do you understand? So, but these things can negatively affect you. But if you have a goal, right? Because the truth is, by being an entrepreneur, you're not actually doing it for the company, you're doing it for yourself. You know, you're getting the skills, you're developing yourself, you're adding value to the company, but more importantly, you're adding value to yourself. Right? So if you understand that first and foremost, it's for you, right? These common mistakes that people make, which some of which have highlighted, you would treat them differently and you would avoid them, right? So yeah, I think those are a few that come to mind at this time, and I think those are some very, very important ones.
Wow. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Igonna. He said, cho. It's show working. It's not about talking,
Yes.
And also bearing in mind that you are working in an organization, you have a boss. So you must show the working. Your boss has to see it. And in all these things, your mental health is also very important, because sometimes we might have some things that we want to do and we see some, we don't see it, coming out the way we want it to come out. We don't see the acceptance the way we want it to be accepted. Sometimes it might be affecting us mentally, but we need to guard our mental health. That is very, very important. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Igonna. Thank you. So we go to the next question that says, what mindset shifts are required to succeed as an intrapreneur? We've been talking about mindset. Can you, dwell more on that? What are those mindset shifts that we're supposed to have as an intrapreneur for us to achieve that success? We're going to talk about mental health. How are we going to change our mindset so that we'll be able to, manage our mental health? How are we going to shift our mindset so that even when we don't get the accolades, or when our bosses are taking the accolades, they are not, we're not getting it when we're doing all the working. What kind of mindset shift are we supposed to have so that we will not get ourselves demoralized and then we drop drop our tools and then we down our tools and say we're not doing again? What are those mindset shifts that we're going to have for us to be able to keep moving forward? Thank you, Oludayo. The question is for you.
Okay, thank you so much. It's such a beautiful question. I would say I'll take it from where Ghana stopped. You need to have a long-term mindset, aside from that, against having a short-term mindset. You see, value creation is not so much about you. Remember, you came into an organization to work and you are meant to contribute value. It's about the success of the organization. So sometimes, even if your boss is the one taking all the accolades, not a problem. Not a problem. You are there and the organization is achieving success. But trust me, the people know who is delivering the value. Trust me from experience. They know who is delivering the value. And the truth about it also is that the more you also work on yourself, the better it becomes in future. So have this long-term mindset, because you never also know where you will find yourself. And all of these skills will become relevant. I usually ask a question, when I was still in 9 to 5, I saw people that have spent 20 years, 25 years in service, and they actually exit and they are frustrated and confused. They don't even know where to start from. And I researched and discovered that majority of the problem was the fact that they did not learn the right skills to thrive whilst they were in their 9 to 5. And if you don't have these skills, you don't have it. So have this long-term mindset that you're not just doing it for somebody to reward you or for something. You are doing it on the long term. And, there's this law, sowing and reaping. Whatever you sow, you may not reap it immediately there, but trust me, you will reap it. All those rewards you are putting, all those labor you are putting, you will reap it in 100-folds in ways that you will be shocked. So the second mindset I will shift that I'll talk about is shift from salary orientation to value orientation. You see, when employees are talking, it's just about salary. Remember something, money is a function of value. What determines what you're earning is the value that you are created. So why don't you have this value orientation as against salary orientation? Because the reason why you could negotiate salary in the first place was based on the value that you are coming to contribute in the organization. So if you want to earn more money, then earn more value. Earn more value, create more value. So you make more money. So don't focus on the money, focus on the value. Even if the organization you are right now, they are not going to give you the value that you are worth. Trust me, there are 1,001 organizations out there that need those skills that you have gotten. So please shift from salary orientation to value orientation. Then shift from this employee mentality, to ownership mentality. There's this thing, everybody, there's this, when you get into an organization, there's a way people come together, they behave like the same thing. You say, I usually say wealth is not found in popular places. When you behave like the masses, you get the result of the masses. So you must first have this determination that you must shift from just being an employee to having this ownership mindset. I am coming here. This is my role as the HR person, and I am owning this role, and I am delivering value on this role, and I'm going to give my best on this role. So you own it, like, don't do it. If you do it, if I can't do your job for them, you will not even receive thank you. No, remove those mindsets and do it as if it is your job. Do it as if it is your own organization. I remember when I was exiting my organization and I told people I was leaving, and they were like, how can you be leaving your organization? I said, excuse me, it's not my company. They said, it's my company. They never believed that it wasn't my organization, because I was leading, I was the chief operating, I was leading as if it was mine. And people didn't even know. So that is the level you need to get into, where you have that ownership mindset. And then also shift from fixed mindset to growth mindset. In an organization, this is the way we have been doing it. This is the way we have to do it. That thing they used to say, this prayer, this way we do it, this way we know. That does not work for people that want to generate results. You can't just say this is the way they do. Where is the room for innovation? Where is room for creativity? Where's room for you to be able to, and in those innovations is where your success lies. In those innovations is where your shining lies. In those innovations is where you can be spotlighted and people's like, wow, this person is an asset. So please shift from fixed mindset to growth mindset, where you're always looking for, how do I improve this? How can I do my job better? If normally you would deliver on a document in 10 minutes, ask yourself, how can I deliver in 8 minutes? That's part of improvement, seeking ways to do this better and improve and become better. And then also shift from being proactive, from being reactive to proactive. Most of us react in the office. You wait for things to scatter, you'll be reacting up and down. Why don't you be proactive? When you follow trends, when you see things that you will know exactly that this is going to happen, and you're proactive and you can put in measures, those are the things that are rewarded. That's what people will be like, wow, like Ogona said, it's in the workings. So those are the things that brings out the workings, because every other person is not willing to do that. But when you begin to do that, you discover gradually that energy also begins to spiral around. People also begin to catch the fire, like, because you are not doing it to show. So sometimes one of the things I do when I'll just call people, I say, guys, what do you think? I've seen the answer, but I say, guys, what do you think? This thing can't continue like this. So how do you think we guys can, what can we do? Be like, not true. Can we just say, So you are not just the only one carrying it. You are involving other people. Learn to also work as a team. Yeah. Go from being solo-minded to being team-oriented. So even when you know the solution, don't try to be, I'm the one that found it. I'm the no. Involve other people and make it like a teamwork. So like that, it helps your mental health. They are not running after you. They are not pursuing. They are not there to now, destroy you or make you look bad. You will see them supporting you and cheering you on, and everybody begins to catch that fire, and things begin to move on smoothly. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Oludaya. Thank you. Shift from fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Don't think that this is the way we've been doing it. No, think about value, how you can create value, how you can make changes, how you can, change things that are not working well in your organization. As you are doing these things, you see yourself also growing. It's also part of personal development. And then you said something again, let's not focus on salary. It's not just about salary. It's about impact that we are making. It's about the value that we are creating. Even if you don't get it right where you're working now, there are 1,001 others that are waiting for that your skill. So the important thing to take home today is that whatever we are doing as intrapreneurs, while we are working towards the success of our organization, is also helping us to develop ourselves, and then we make ourselves more valuable than how we were when we started that job. Thank you so much, Oludayo. All right, the next question we go to Ugonna. It says, what skills, knowledge, and personal characteristics are required of an intrapreneur, and how should these be acquired? What are those skills? What are those knowledge? What are those personal characteristics that we have to acquire as intrapreneurs? How can we achieve this? Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Jerry. So, well, it's in line with what we've been discussing already. So one of them is the ownership mindset. I'll just try to run through a couple, right? Take ownership of the work, take ownership of the product, take ownership of value creation. Another one is collaboration, collaborative skills. You need to work with people, right? You're not an island. You can't do it alone. You need to work with people. You need to involve people. You need to carry people along. And like I said, as an intrapreneur, you're carrying both your superiors and your subordinates, right? So it's people up the ladder and below you on the ladder. You need to carry them along, make everybody feel part of it. It might not be the easiest thing, because actually the hardest thing you can do is to manage people, right? Managing human beings are the most difficult thing you can ever do, but you don't have a choice. You just need to do it. And then if you're going to have those collaborative skills, that's to work with people and collaborate with them, you need to have emotional intelligence, right? And emotional intelligence means understanding other people and understanding yourself, understanding your environment. You need to have that emotional intelligence needed to transition, right? Communication is very important. Very, very important. Some of the most successful people in the world are the best communicators, right? You have to be able to communicate your vision. You have to be able to communicate your plan. You have to be able to communicate your findings. And the thing about communication is not rigid, it's not fixed, right? The way you communicate to A might not be the way you communicate to B, right? For example, if you're a developer, right? Let's say you're a senior engineer in a company and you want to communicate to your other engineers. The way you communicate with them is different from the way you communicate maybe with your CEO, who is not very tech inclined. If you have a tech inclined CEO, fine, but you see some CEOs don't understand if you're talking about we have to spend this money on servers or to grow the team or to bring in this expertise or invest in AI or machine learning. They don't know what you're saying. Right, so if you like speak all the grammar in the world, they don't understand what they don't see the value. But if the CEO is interested in money, Naira and Kobo, explain to him how this thing helps the company make more money or save money. Right? How does this give us an advantage in the market? How does this give us an advantage with our competitors? So your communication skills, both oral communication and written communication, is very, very important. Right, because sometimes you can be doing a lot of work, but you're not the work is not showing, even though you're doing it, because you don't know how to communicate it. And the truth is, somebody who is communicating better but is doing less work might even get the accolades or get the recognition, but you're the person doing the work. So you need to be able to communicate your work. Make sure as you're creating value, you're also selling that value. The value has to be visible, right? Now, another skill you have to have, which is also very important, or let me put it as a mindset, is resilience. Not necessarily a skill, but like a mindset, resilience. Things will go wrong. Things will always work out as planned. Things will be more difficult than planned. Things will be harder than planned. These are realities, I'm sorry, but it's the truth, right? You have to be resilient. You have to stay focused on it. Sometimes, yes, it will be tough. Sometimes you feel like giving up, but you have to stay focused on the goal. And like what Oludayo said, you have to have a long-term mindset. So that long-term mindset would fuel your resilience, and your resilience will also fuel that long-term mindset or long-term vision. Right. So you need to have that resilient mindset. That skill, which is very important, is problem solving. Problem solving skills. Right. You look, something is wrong, there's a problem, how do you solve it? And the first step to problem solving is problem identification, right? So you have to first of all understand the problem. There are tools you can use to do this, like root cause analysis and so on, or just generally, the point is you want to solve this problem. To solve the problem, you have to understand the problem, You know, personal development is very key, right? The only way you can increase your value, or the only way you can improve your value, is by developing yourself more. You know, so you take your personal development very, very seriously as well. You know, so yeah, these are some of the skills that come to mind at this time, that I think skills and mindsets, right, that come to mind at this time that I think are very, very important. Some other things I'll add is discipline. You have to be disciplined, right? And what does discipline mean? Discipline means doing the right thing at the right time, whether you feel like doing it or not. You know, you need to submit the reports. You need to, you know, show up to a meeting, or show up to the meeting. You don't feel like you need to be at work, be at work. You need to carry out the research, carry out the research. You need to complete a task, complete that. You might not feel like doing it, you know, but you just need that. That's what that discipline mindset helps you do. Whether you feel like doing it or not, you do it the right thing at the right time. And you do the right thing at the wrong time, you're wrong. You know, if you do the wrong thing at the right time, you're wrong. So you have to do the right thing at the right time. Another mindset I would say is an excellence mindset. Strive for excellence at all times. You know, say no to mediocrity. You don't have any business with mediocrity. Don't do, you know, many times people do things anyhow. It doesn't matter. Let me try, just do it. No. If you're going to do it well. Do it excellently. You know, focus on the result. Do it in the best possible way that it can be done. If it requires you learning additional skills, if it requires you putting in additional time, do whatever it takes to deliver an excellent result. You know, these are the things that can really help you. And these are the skills you need. These are the mindsets shifts you need if you're going to transition and be successful as an entrepreneur. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Ugonna. Thank you. We have to, you know, develop some mindsets that will help us to, you know, succeed as entrepreneurs. Excellent mindset. You know, you also have to consider the time. If they're telling you this is the time you're supposed to deliver this, don't take your own time and say, okay, I'll deliver it at my own time. Don't say, okay, I want to do it at my own pace. No, you have to be time conscious and deliver it at the time that is required. And then when you were talking, you also talked about collaboration. And that would take me to the next question for Oludayo. You know, when we're talking about this collaboration, when we're talking about internal relationships and all, the question now says, how can we manage this internal relationship or internal relationships to succeed as an entrepreneur? Collaboration. Yeah, there are sometimes that people will not even believe in what you are bringing on the table. There are sometimes that even when they believe, because they don't want you to succeed, you know, but then you still need these people. You still need to work with these people. How will you be able to manage all these relationships to be able to achieve success? Thank you, Oludayo.
Thank you so much for this question again. Okay, so I would say the first thing is emotional intelligence. It is important that you be emotionally intelligent. You need to understand that for you to manage relationships as an entrepreneur, it mustn't be about you anymore. You don't take things personal. A lot of us take things so personal. You must understand that emotional intelligence is about you knowing yourself and knowing other people, and you being able to work together to achieve organizational goals. That's what emotional intelligence is about. So for example, now, so if I know that our goal is to aim at to maybe deliver 1 billion or 1 trillion, and I have a colleague here, and that is my goal, and I'm trying to explain something my colleague is not getting it, I won't fight with that colleague. I will look for a way, because if I'm communicating, the person should get what I'm saying, but sometimes we don't communicate. You don't even understand the emotions of people. You don't even know how that people, you don't even know yourself. So you are angry, they are angry. At the end of the day, the organizational goal is suffering. No, you must calm down and understand that, okay, understand why the person is feeling the way the person is feeling, and know how to drive those emotions towards achieving your goal. That's part of what being an entrepreneur is. So you must be emotionally intelligent. That's why you see everyone talking about emotional intelligence right now. It is important for you to achieve goals because emotions are flying everywhere. Trust me. especially in this economy now where there's so many things happening. Some people are already being battered back and forth, and then you are here speaking grammar. Trust me, they will take up every, all the aggression will be transferred. But understand that it's not personal.
Yeah.
It's not personal, it's about the organization. And when you understand that, it helps you also maintain your own peace, where you're not thinking somebody is after you or somebody is against you or somebody is looking for your downfall. So you are positive and, it helps you manage those relationships. Then the second thing, I think she should even be the first, is you must believe in yourself. You must believe in yourself. You must believe in your abilities. You must believe that you are a person of value. You must believe that you have something good to offer. Because most times, a lot of people suffer low self-esteem. A lot of people self-sabotage themselves. And when you do that, you cannot effectively manage relationships as an entrepreneur. So believe in yourself. Believe that you are a person of value. Believe that you have something to offer. So when you are talking, you are not sabotaging yourself. You are not feeling, what am I even saying? Some people, even before other people contribute, they have already shot themselves in the leg. So please believe in yourself. You are a person of value. An entrepreneur is somebody that is bold, somebody that is courageous, that believes that I am a person of value. That is very, very important. Then you must also learn how to manage stakeholders. All stakeholders across, whether the senior level, horizontal, vertical, you must develop good relationships with your superiors, develop good relationships with your peers, develop good relationships with people under it, because all of us are working together towards a goal. So you cannot, just be an enemy to everyone. You must learn how to manage people. Look at these politicians, for example. They know how to manage, they manage you here, they manage you there. You need to learn to be diplomatic.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need to be, how they say, chopping people's legs up and down. I'm not talking about that. But I'm just saying that you need to be diplomatic. You need to be able to work with people, manage people, speak their language. Don't be this person that is arrogant and you raise your shoulder up and down and you feel you are the only good thing that has happened to the organization. No, don't do that. So manage all stakeholders, and develop good relations, because the day you are going to bring your ideas, these are the same people that will support your ideas. These are the same people that will say, oh, let her do it. They may not even like you. But the truth is that because you have had this track record, they would say, oh, we may not like her, but this thing he or she is doing is going to work. I said people, they may not like your face, but let them not be able to fault your work. And you will discover that it will work for you. They will support you and they will support your idea. That's why even in board meetings, you discover before new ideas are brought, people will discuss it behind the scene. Test people's emotions, know what's happening first before they bring it. So you're already having people on your side. So you're not getting to the board meeting and you're surprised. So you must learn how to play these things. You must know how to go around it. Some people will say they don't like office politics. If you don't like it, it will sweep you away. You need to be wise. You're not going to be playing dirty, but you understand how to engage stakeholders that are involved. That is how you rise. As long as you have people, there will be politics. Trust me, when you have more than one person, even in the family, there's politics, husband and wife. So you must understand how to play this politics, to your advantage. Then collaborate is important. Collaborate across teams. Collaborate and be a good team player. Be a good team player. It's not about you winning. It's about the organization winning. It's about the team winning. When people begin to see that you are for all, they will support your vision, because when they shine, everybody shine. They're not just going to say, oh, it's only there that shine. They'll say, oh, so department did well. Even though your appraiser, you make, your personal appraisal, you will do so well, you'll be appraised well, but people see you like a team-oriented person, and that's enough, works out for people. Then develop good interpersonal skills. Aside office, build relationship outside of the office. You understand? A good rapport, it helps a great deal to help you. Then this last thing, even though I'm going to have spoken about it, I'm going to talk about it. Communication. A lot of professionals run away from public speaking. You can't want to be an entrepreneur and not know how to communicate. I used to be a very shy person. A lot of people don't know. They were like, no, you were never not shy. Oh, I used to be a shy person. I never liked to talk. I just wanted to be in my own corner, doing my own thingy and everything like that. But I asked myself a question. If I'm going to get to that top that I need to be, I can't be the same person. I need to change. So now you see me talk, you think they get better to me like that. No. It was so you need to, work on your public speaking skills, your effective communication. Learn to speak the language that people understand. Sometimes you may be talking, but you're not communicating. If the person you're speaking to does not understand what you are saying, no matter the jargons you have written down, or the people will not buy into your ideas. So you can't run away from communicating effectively. Building your public speaking skills, building your communication skills is very important, because you want to influence people towards an idea. You want people to buy into your idea. So you must be able to speak the language that people understand, and then they can buy into your vision. I believe with all of these things put together, you're going to be a fantastic entrepreneur. Thank you.
Wow, I don't know about you, but for me, I think I've picked a lot from what has been shared so far. I've picked a lot. I'm also going to work on myself, because I can see some areas that I'm not getting right. So I'm going to be working on myself as well as an entrepreneur, to be the best I can be in my organization or wherever I find myself, knowing fully that I'm going to be working with people. I'm going to be making sure that whatever idea I'm bringing on the table, I have to influence people to buy into my idea. So that communication, that collaboration, that stakeholder management is something that is very important as you move on this journey as entrepreneurs. Thank you so much, Oludayo. Thank you, Ugonna.
Please,
right now we're opening the floor. Yes, please.
Let me quickly add something so I don't forget. I just, based on what you're saying. And then also I want to chip this in. When you are communicating your idea and people are not getting your idea, don't feel bad like your idea is not solid. Still communicate it. It may not be relevant now, but in the next 2 years, it may be relevant. In the next 1 month, it may be relevant. But just still communicate your idea and communicate it effectively. It will be taken, even if it is not taken, don't feel bad. A lot of people feel bad. They say, they shun my idea. No, don't feel bad. You have said it. When it is needed, your name will be mentioned. So I just wanted to shoot that in here. Thank you.
Let me just quickly add to that. And guys, just because you share an idea doesn't mean your idea is right. Your idea could also be wrong. Sometimes when we are doing certain interviews and you ask some people why they're trying to leave a company, or some negative experiences they've had during the course of or some challenges rather they've had during the course of, they'll say, I don't share my idea, the company was not taking my idea, blah, blah, blah. So there's something we say at Figure, right? Nothing is written in stone. Anything can be changed, right? And all ideas are welcome. We'll always listen. But just because you share an idea doesn't mean it's right. Your ideas can also be wrong. So you need to have an open mind, right? Even me as the CEO of a company, I know my ideas can be wrong, right? And that's why we allow everybody to contribute, right? If you have data, bring data. If you have facts, bring the facts. If you have anything, bring it. At the end of the day, decision might be taken. Decision might be right. Decision might be wrong. Your idea might be right. Your idea might be wrong. But you have to maintain an open mind as well, right? And again, ideas are a dime a dozen. Just because you have an idea doesn't mean you have an idea. There's like when some people come to me. Sorry, Larry, you're muted. Yeah, thank you. So like, oh, they have this idea, they want to do something, and then they talk about maybe signing an NDA before you tell me your idea. I understand, because I've been in their shoes. I've taken NDA to people to sign, but now as you grow, you understand that ideas are a dime a dozen. Ideas are very, very cheap, right? Execution is what is more important. So sometimes, while your idea might be great, the company too might not be in a position to execute that idea at that point in time. They might not have the resources, the timing might be right, it might not align with the company's direction, so many things, right? So keep an open mind, basically, as you share your ideas, right? Keep an open mind, and also take feedback, right? Take feedback. And just because, even if your idea is right, your communication has to be right too for people to buy in. Right idea plus right communication. You might be wanting to say A, but you're saying B. People won't understand what you're talking about. So they won't buy it. They won't buy it, right? Communicate, keep an open mind, and then you'll get the desired results. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have a good idea. It may not align with the organizational goal. You might have an idea to you. The idea might sound so perfect, but that idea may not be good. That you have an idea does not mean that your idea is the best. Communicate with other people, discuss it with other people. Maybe while sharing with other people, you can fine tune it and make it a better idea. Or other people can also share their own ideas and then work with it. Remember that you are not working alone as an entrepreneur, you are working with others. And that skill is very important in relating with people. Being emotionally intelligent in relating with people. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we are trying the floor open now for questions. If you have any question in the next 26 minutes, I want to take some questions before we wrap it up for the day. Thank you so much. Does anybody have questions? Biodu, you are raising your hand up. Is it for questioning?
Yes, it's for questioning. Good evening.
All right, go ahead, please.
Yeah, what a very great section. A lot of it has been inciting, a lot of remarkable points has been made here. However, let me quickly take our facilitators or speakers on something that is a weakness to me. I think it's a weakness, but I know they will help me here. You talk about being diplomatic. That word, I've read it ever and ever. It's a weakness to me because I won't bring spirituality here because this is a business word. So I want to say things the way they are. It has cost me relationship before. It has cost me a lot of things. Just for as an example, a friend told me that for me to get married, to live with a lady, I need to be diplomatic. That is not everything that we just say the way they are. Coming back to a corporate world, I'm somebody that just want to say, you know what, I like to call a spade a spade. I know you spoke the other time that being diplomatic does not mean backbiting and all that. So me, I'm this guy that I want to say, you know what, this work you have done is a shabby job. You have not done a good work here and all that. I want to say, Oga, see, this is not good. But these are senior people, or this could be a subordinate. I mean, like you said, different people in different walks of life. So how do this diplomatic thing? How do I manage it? How do I do it? I don't know. The word diplomatic, I don't know how to deal with it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. That was Biodu that asked, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Biodu. Let me share some thoughts, and maybe Oludayo might chime in as well. So when you talk about being diplomatic, or when you talk about diplomacy, it's really about just managing people's emotions. So the first thing you need to understand is that human beings are emotional beings, right? We make our decisions based on emotions, and then we justify it with logic. There's something people say. They say people will forget what you said to them. People will forget what you did for them. People will never forget how you made them feel. People that are able to garner loyalty, it's because they understand how to be diplomatic and how to make people feel good, how to give people experiences, right? So what does diplomacy mean? Diplomacy means managing people's emotions. There are there are so many different ways you can say the same thing, right? Depending on the situation, depending on who you're talking to, depending on the timing, depending on so many different factors. So you brought two examples about one, living with a lady, getting married, and two, maybe when somebody has done a bad job, right? Now, your position in the company or your position in life in every situation also sort of helps to determine how diplomatic you need to be. For example, as CEO, you can say, terrible job, redo. It might not be the right thing or the best way to say it, right? I'm not saying it's right to give feedback that way, but I'm saying you can't say it. However, if you're talking to your manager, you can say, terrible job, redo, right? So you can say, oh, your manager has done put in work into this thing. You can say something like, all right, sir, I think this is well done, sir. This is good, but I have a few ideas on maybe how we could slightly improve it. Can I share those ideas with you so we could see if it's something that makes sense? That is being diplomatic. In your mind, you know that this work is below standard, but you can't tell your manager that, right? You can't tell your CEO that the person doesn't know what he or she is doing, but you can be diplomatic enough to manage the person's emotions to say, oh, you've done well, this is good, but I have a few ideas. Can I share them with you? And then there's a way you can now make the person even feel like it's their idea, or they are the ones actually contributing to the idea, which is in line with what Oludayo said earlier. So you already know the answer. You already know where you're going, but you call people to say, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? They'll now say, you guide them to the answer. You guide them to the answer. And then when they say it, you're like, yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. In fact, you're right. It was the idea all along. That is diplomacy, right? Knowing how to present information, knowing when to present information, knowing how to manage people's emotions, and still achieving the intended goal. Right. Sometimes now, if you talk about having living with a woman, or having a wife, or having a girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, there's some things you can't just say outrightly. For example, let's say you're married or you have a girlfriend, she has put in efforts to dress up, to go out, and you say, "What is that you wear? You look so ugly." You've ruined her emotions. But you say, "Oh, babe, not bad, not bad. This is nice. This is nice. This is that." But red looks better on you. That last time you wore that red dress, man, that. Maybe you should try that one, though. Maybe you try something red. Yeah, let's just see if she might not be like, "I'll be red." Hey, I know. Okay, let me wear that my red. You're achieving the same goal. You're making her actually think, oh, the particular dress might have been an idea, or buy into the idea by just being diplomatic and still achieving the same result. So basically, in a nutshell, I would say you have to consider the way people feel, right? And try to be diplomatic, try to manage their emotions, try to be intentional about the way you pass across certain information, such that they will still buy in. You will still most likely achieve the desired outcome, but you will do it while making them feel good about the entire situation. So those are my thoughts.
Amazing. Great contribution. So for me, I'll just add a little more to what Ugonna said. One major thing you need to understand is that at every point you need to ask yourself a question. What do I want to achieve? Because what you want to achieve determines how you go about it. So do you want to achieve a change in behavior, or you want to get the person so angered that the person is not even seeing the correction you are bringing to bear? And that's where emotional intelligence comes in. So this person is trying to do something. The person has put in effort, right? What do you feel that the person can do it better? It's not about being blunt, but if somebody talks to you also like that, would you like it? So you have to also empathize with people. Would I like it? Would I see the correction? Or I will be looking at the way it's even talking to me. The person forgets that you even want to, you are aiming at achieving a goal. So ask yourself a question. What do I want to achieve? And what is the best way for me to handle this situation to still achieve the goal? So when you make people feel good, they do good. So when you make them feel bad, they do bad. So your goal is, how do I still achieve that goal by still ensuring that I am aligning the person's emotions with what I'm doing, everything towards achieving that goal. And that is where you have to, develop emotional intelligence. It is very, very key. We all say I'm very blunt. Please, it's about also personal development. Do SWOT analysis for yourself. Know your strength, know your weaknesses. Invest in areas to improve yourself, because you just keep getting on people's, even though you have good intentions, you keep getting on people's bad books because you are not communicating effectively and you are not helping them to achieve the goal. Then the second thing I will share is You can see the cup as half empty, and you can see the cup as half full. Have this mindset where you see the cup as half empty, half full. So when the cup is half full, if you have that mindset, you are not seeing things always from the negative point of view. You will see things from a point of improvement. So for me, when I'm dealing with people, I say, "Oh, great job." Even when I'm using ChatGPT, the activity gives me something, I'll say, "Wow, great job." But I think we can make it better. What if you tweak it this way? What if you tweak it this way? And ChatGPT, even though it's programmed, it will respond in a person, "Thank you for that. That is even machine, no." But I can say this is nonsense. This is rubbish. No, always see the cup as half full, so that you are seeing things and you are effecting changes from a positive point of view. And with that, you can get more better results from people rather than just shutting down people. I've seen in situations where people are in meetings and somebody makes a contribution. I say, "Rubbish, what are you saying? Nonsense." "Oh, excuse me." There is no suggestion that is nonsense. There is no suggestion that is wrong. Because I may suggest something, Ugonna may suggest another thing. The two ideas may fuse together and become that fantastic idea.
Yep.
Sometimes that idea that you think is nonsense is even the ones that make sense, because the person is thinking outside of the box.
Yes.
But you are still thinking within the box. So let us learn to see things from, the positive point of view, and not just about condemning people, making people feel bad. That was a management style that people use, to make people feel worse than themselves, just to gain control. But you don't get best from people using that approach. Oh, applaud the person. So show appreciation for what has been done, then improve. Show appreciation, then improve. Then with that, people will be the ones, even when they'll come to me and say, "Oh, guy, what do you think, man? This thing, how far now?" Because they know that you would always see things from that positive point of view. So with that, it will help you. And then stop saying to yourself that you are not the diplomatic. Whatever you say about yourself is who you become. Like I said, I was an introvert. I had my own. I worked on myself. So you can work on yourself to be that better version of yourself that you truly want to be. Thank you.
Fantastic. Wow. Great, great, great. Be diplomatic. Don't say you don't know how to be diplomatic. Don't say that it's just your idea. You can infuse the other people's idea into yours, and it becomes a great idea. Wow, that's great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gona. I don't know if we have any other question. Do we have any other person that has question to ask? The floor is open, please. Question, you can drop it on the chat box. Hello, Gona, you want to say something?
I think Aisha put up her hand. I don't know if that was a mistake. Aisha, do you have a question? Maybe that was a mistake.
Hello, Aisha, do you have a question? Okay, Alexander, you raise your hand. Please, can you ask your question? Thank you.
So, thank you, panelists, for the expose on entrepreneurship. So my question is, when you are working, you want to be the entrepreneur, you mentioned it won't be easy, but when you have real people that are very proactive to undermine your efforts in organization, you mentioned you have to, what do you call it, be diplomatic, but you have people that are cut out, maybe because they see that you pose an existential threat to them, or just because you're own too much, they want to make sure maybe to put you in your place, something like that. How do you handle that?
Should I go?
Okay, maybe you go first and then I answer.
Okay, number one thing is, I think we've answered this question. We've already answered this question already. Like we said, the way you manage relationships goes a long way. Most of the time, because the way people resist change. We are all created like that. But when people say your own is too much, the way you also manage relationships matters a whole deal. Remember, we said something. Don't play the solo game where you are the best of everything and everything like that. You know, sometimes one of the things that even when I have that fantastic idea, I'll speak to a team member and say, you share this idea in the meeting now. Share the idea. And the person owns it, we discuss it. The person is happy. The person is excited to be a part of that vision. So one of the things that we spoke about is the way you also go about it. Don't go about it like you're the best person in the organization. Learn to collaborate, learn to work with other people, and then remove this mindset that people want to get back at you. Whatever you think is what you attract. Whatever you think is what you attract. So when you keep having this mindset that some people are after you, trust me, the host will be after you. But understand that you're all working towards a goal. Am I saying everybody in the organization will like you? No. Even the CEO, everybody in the organization does not like the CEO of the company. So who are you that everybody will like you? But develop the right skills, good interpersonal skills, knowing how to work with people, knowing how to sell an idea. Remember what I said, even in board meetings, before board members will come for a meeting, they will share their ideas, they will pass it around people behind before they get into the meeting to get people's vibes, to get people's buy-in. So you must have good interpersonal skills. Learn to communicate across stakeholders. Have good relationship with your superiors, with your peers, with people that are below you, and also learn to to function as a good team player. Then fourthly, your mindset. You also work on your mindset. Nobody is after you. Remember, we're all working towards a goal. They may not understand what you are doing, but you are still a team. You still need that team to succeed. So learn to manage them, develop the right emotional intelligence. I remember when I was starting up like that, a lot of people felt, our own is too much. Why is it like this? But at some point also, when I needed to stand my feet, I know when to stand my feet. When I need to walk around and take people on, I know when to do that. So at some point, I started, buying into that idea. But do you know that until I left some of those organizations, some of those people never believed and never bought into those ideas. But when I left, they started calling me and say, wow, this is what you were doing. We didn't know you were for us. We didn't do that. But what am I trying to say? It is not everybody that will like you. It is not everybody that will buy into the vision of what you are doing. But you develop the right skills and see whether things will shift or not. And then be diplomatic. We can't not keep saying this. It's not about you are right. It must be a win-win situation for everybody. When you operate from that point of view, even when you are discussing, you want it to be a win-win situation. You are not talking for you to shine. You are not talking for you to be seen as a win-win. The way you go about it will show. And like I said, not everybody will like you, but trust me, develop the right skills. Your own is to develop the right skills. And you discover that the tension will be, gradually diffuse, and you'll be able to manage the situations better. So go now, over to you.
Thank you. I think you've said it all more or less. Just to add something, because there's something he said. Now, when sometimes people feel you pose an existential threat to them, this is possible in certain organizations. For example, you work in an organization that by default their processes are traditional. They don't use technology to manage a lot of things. So because of those traditional processes, there are a lot of loopholes. And as a result of those loopholes, people are benefiting. What we say in Pidgin, did they chop money or did they chop one or two things? Right. And then you want to come and say, oh, let's bring technology to do this. Of course, people would push back. Right. The default for humans, our approach to change is resistance. Right. People would first of all resist change. Sometimes because they don't understand it or because it doesn't benefit them. If it's because they don't understand it, that's where communication comes in. If it's because it doesn't benefit them, the reality is you can't solve everybody's problem. You can't solve all organizations' problem. Remember what we said. Personal development, your entrepreneurial skills and abilities are for yourself first, primarily, not necessarily for the organization, right? So to achieve success, you must put a square peg in a square hole, right? Or a round peg in a round hole. So if you're a round peg, try to fit into a square hole, it won't work. Right. So what I'm just saying sometimes is you can also be in the wrong environments. Right. It's a thing. It's the truth. If you're trying to bring in change and you've done everything else that we've said, you've been diplomatic, you communicated, you tried to collaborate, but because of personal interests, you know, people are pushing back and they feel it, whatever change you're bringing or whatever ideas you're introducing doesn't serve their needs, right? Go ahead to continue to develop your entrepreneurial skills. And then when you move on to the next organization or to the next phase of your career, you would be shocked at how much progress you will make in a very short period of time because of those skills you've developed in that place. So you're doing it primarily for yourself, not necessarily for the organization, right? Like what Oludayo said, some people did not buy in while she was in the organization, but when she left, they started calling her back. They now understood what she was trying to do. So it's possible that people would push back just because of personal interest. We're all human beings, like, you know, I've tried to establish, right? But still, this thing is for yourself. Have a long-term vision. Long-term, you know where you're going. You know what you're trying to achieve. You know who you're trying to become, right? And so whatever pushbacks you face are temporary, right? As you move on, all of those skills, all of those personal development, everything you've learned, everything you become will always go on with you, and you would still become a very successful entrepreneur. And if you decide to become an entrepreneur as well, you'll become very successful as well. So don't give up, just keep going.
All right. Thank you so much. Magdala was raising his hand. I don't know whether we still have time. We have just about 6 minutes to go. I don't know whether we still have time to take McDonald's question. Do we go ahead, please?
Okay, let's take it as the last one.
All right. McDonald, could you please ask your question?
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I actually joined late. Apologies for that. But when I joined, the discussion I heard is something that, you know, fascinates me a lot. And then I said, okay, maybe this is an opportunity for me to ask for some clearance regarding, you know, diplomacy. I heard us talk about being diplomatic, right? So my question goes thus. I just want, I don't know whether it's to go now or Ludayo that will help with this or both. What do you think will be the major difference, or how best can you differentiate between being diplomatic, right, and being political, like some people will say, or being cunning? Because for so many people, it seems to be a very thin line between being diplomatic and being cunning. Cunning for me, or political for many people, sounds very negative. Being diplomatic sounds positive, right? But most times when you try to be diplomatic, which like Oludayo said, also means emotional intelligence, managing people's emotion, right? So many other people, you know, tend to see it as you being political or you being cunning or you not coming out straight and all of that. So I don't know how best you want to help me differentiate this, right? And not just differentiating it, even how best we can put it into action so that at every given time, our recipients, as it is, will know that we are only trying to manage a situation or manage an emotion rather than being cunning or being political as they perceive it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that question. I think we've answered it a bit, but there's a difference between being diplomatic and being cunning. Being cunning is about being deceitful. You know, when you are deceitful. So when we're talking about being emotionally intelligent, we're not saying you are being deceitful. We're saying manage people's emotions towards achieving the goals of the organization. Understand people's emotion and see how you can drive those emotions to achieving your goal. We are not saying you need to be deceitful. No, you don't have to be deceitful. You don't have to be who you don't want to be to achieve those goals. You don't want to lose your values or play against the organization values, the core values of the organization. That's not what we're saying. Being diplomatic is developing emotional intelligence. knowing how to manage people's emotion towards achieving the organization. That is what the difference is. So when you're going about those innovations, when you're going about, driving your visions or your dreams in the organization, innovation and creativity, don't be corny about it. Don't deceive people. Still work within the corporate goals and objective of the organization, but now managing people's emotions to achieve that goal. And that is the major that is the major difference here. So being diplomatic, and when you say political, we have assumed different meanings to different things. Politics is not wrong now. It is what you do with, we've attributed. So when they say office politics, people think office politics is wrong. Office politics is not wrong. It's how you play it. You can play it positively, you can play it negatively. So when we're saying being diplomatic, we are saying manage people's emotions towards achieving their goals. We are not saying deceiving them. We are not saying being deceptive. We are not saying, chopping people's leg or playing the zero-sum game. All of those things, those are not the things we are talking about. We're talking about you truly improving yourself. It's about growth, personal development. For you to manage other people, you must manage yourself. So a lot of us, we are not managing ourselves. We are not evolving, but we want other people to change. But they are also a reflection of us. So the moment you give yourself to personal development, you begin to see that you can manage people better. For me, as an example now, the challenges I used to have dealing with people, I discovered that the moment I took personal development seriously, it became nothing. I became less personal. When you talk about things, I just laugh. I say, come back here, Joy. It's not about me. It's about all of us. If this thing works, you see what thing go do for all of us. So before you both, why are you talking to me like that? Why are you talking to me like that? No, I discovered the more I became better, the more I could manage people better. So please, politics is good. It's what you do with it. Be diplomatic, but please don't be deceptive. Thank you.
Thank you, Luda. I think you said it all right. Diplomacy is not deceit, right? Being corny just means being deceitful, being dishonest. Like what Luda said, she's 100% spot on, right? So let me just paint a typical scenario for you, right? You want to achieve A, right? I'll just use simple alphabet A and B to make it simple. What you want to achieve is A. Being diplomatic and applying diplomacy is how do you get people to buy into A? How do you get people to key into your vision for A? How do you get people to support you in A? Right? How do you get them to support you in A? But it's clear all the way that what you want to do is A. Being corny is that what you want to do is B, but you're trying to sell A. So you're lying, you're being dishonest. Maybe B will serve your own personal or selfish interest. You're now trying to make it look like, now A we want to do. Meanwhile, you know that what you're trying to do is B. So that's wrong. That's being dishonest. But diplomacy is just managing people's emotions so they key into, what you're really trying to do. That is it. And like what Ludaya said again, politics is not a bad thing, right? It depends on how you play it, what you do with it. It's almost necessary in every human relationship, because again, like I said, human beings are emotional beings, right? So in fact, politics is diplomacy. That's just it. Politics is diplomacy, and that's why they will tell you, even in the Nigerian way of politics, they will say no permanent friend, no permanent enemy. It's about who is aligned with you in achieving something, right? I mean, we're not talking Nigerian politics here, but we're just taking the concept of politics generally, to say it's just about diplomacy. Politics should not even be about deceit or dishonesty, but about diplomacy, right? So I just hope what we've said helps. I think you wanted something else. I don't know if we have time for that, but since it's still on the same topic, maybe we can give him 1 minute, Chinyere, if that's okay.
Okay. You want us to give more minutes to McDonald's because he's raising his hand again?
Yeah, I don't know if he has another question, or I don't know why.
Okay. Is because of you anyway. For me, I think we can still give him. I don't know, because of your own time, and I know Oluda has another meeting right now, but she's just sacrificing this time for us. All right, so McDonald, can we take your question again? That will
one.
be the last question we can wrap up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I will rush the 60 seconds. Thank you, Gunda and Oludayo. I agree with you very well. Politics, like you said, is not a bad thing. Politics is diplomacy. I've taken down that as a quote by Ugonna, okay? And I'm going to say that in my diary, okay? But again, what I am actually looking at here, because I am on the same page with you guys, but what we don't get sometimes is the perception from the recipient. Like I said, you know, sometimes when you manage people's emotion to get them to understand the goal and what you want the organization or the team to achieve. In fact, even at the end of the day, when they join you in understanding the goal and even achieving the same goal, they will still come back to you and say, you this man, you be wayo man, you be corny man, you be this, you be that, and all of that, you know. So from the onset, right, even before achieving that goal, is there a possibility, right, of getting their perception to change, for them to understand that you're not being cunning or you're not being deceitful, right? You're only trying to manage them so that they understand, you know, the goal that you want to achieve, and that is you being diplomatic, you know. So
All right.
generally speaking, yeah, what I'm saying is perception, the perception of the
We get
recipient.
what you're saying. Sorry, because of time. I think
Yeah,
we get
thank
what,
you.
but let me just say this, right? If you're diplomatic and people come back and say you be wayo man, you be corny man, and let's assume it's not intentional, that means you did not plan to be corny or wayo, right? Then
Exactly.
yeah, then maybe there was a flaw in your communication. So you probably did not communicate clearly. There might have been some omissions, which might not have been intentional, but however they happened. So you might not have said everything the way it is, or the way it was, or the way it should be, right? So you have to go back and look at your communication style, right? For example, if I say, okay, I want me and you to go to a party now, you know, and I say, oh, I can say, oh, McDonald, how far? What are you doing? There's this nice party. It will be fun. Let's go together. Is in so place? This is what the party will be like, and all of those things. And you agree, and we go for the party. I was very clear in my communication. But I can also come and say, McDonald, there's one place I think something is happening. I'm not even really sure what it is. You know, it'd be like saying at those place where if you go chop, you know, I've not had dinner. Let's just go to that place. I heard there's food there and eat there, you know, and then we'll just come back. 10 minutes, we're back, and you know, it's an all-night party. So we'll not go even waste time. We could just go now, come back now. And then the person gets there and sees that it's a party, is a big deal. You knew about it, you were aware, you did not communicate it. Obviously, the person has reason to say you're a corny man, right? Because your communication was not clear. You didn't really tell the person what it entails, how long it's going. You didn't pass across all the information you had. So you had more information than you let out, right? And you did it maybe intentionally or unintentionally, but the person finds out that you had more information than you let out, and probably you had a personal or selfish reason for doing that. You know, then the person can say you be corny man. That's not diplomacy, because you were not very, very clear. So that's in such situations, that's when the person can say, you be corny man, you be wayo man, you be this, you be that. You might think you handled it diplomatically, but you were not as straightforward as it should have been. Right. So that's my take on this example. Of course, I use a very simple example, something you can relate with. I don't know the exact situation or the exact context in which you're talking about this, but if people are giving you that feedback afterwards, then just look at your communication and then look at your intention as well. Thank you. So I don't know if Undai wants to add to that.
Yeah, brilliantly put. I'll just add this to it. Also, you need to understand that sometimes in offices, we also have some languages that people just use loosely. So you also have to understand where that is also coming from. If you have checked your communication and you feel you are doing, you are communicating right, just like the way we're talking about being diplomatic and being corny. To some people, they don't know the difference between the two. So sometimes people use some words loosely. But what you need to do is this. Number one, you cannot buy everybody into your boat. Not everybody would work with you, but ensure that at every point you are developing your skills and you are putting your best foot forward. Doesn't mean you are going to be perfect. No, you're also not a perfect being, but ensure that you are, building yourself up, learning how to communicate effectively, improving yourself every day. Then understand also people's perspective and what they mean by Konima. If you say Konima, they be Konina, hear them out so that you can also take feedback and improve. So it's not all about defending yourself and hear what they have to say. Then in that saying, you can clarify. It may just be a miscommunication. You can just, oh boy, I'm not waiting. I mean, be that, now waiting at the talk, but people like say, you don't understand that. But sure, you don't get her now. I can go take Conina. You just try to seek to understand people. And I want to put this, let's not always be defensive. Most of the time, we always come up as being defensive. So when people are talking, you think they're attacking you. When people are, let's calm down and truly hear people, get feedback, work on your communication, and you discover that everybody's work in progress. And even when you hear, take those lesson points, improve on it the next time you're going to speak. And before you know it, it all just keeps getting better. That's my addition to that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Oludayo, and thank you, Ugonna. All right. Before we go, you know that this event is supported by Eximios and also supported by Figo. I would like Ugonna to talk about Eximios and also the book that you wrote, and then Ugonna will also talk to us about Figo. Thank you very much.
So good. I think you have become part of Eximios now. So please, you know that now, right now. Chigeri has made you a part of Eximios. Just like that.
I hope you accept me.
Just like that. You have accepted already. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so Eximios is a human capital development company. Basically, what we do is we work with individuals, professionals, and business owners to achieve their goals. So you tell us what your goal is, and we help you work towards it. So we do trainings, we run coaching programs to help a professional become the best version of themselves. Like all of these things you're talking about now, we do those trainings to help you become the best version of yourself and work with you, your weaknesses, help you improve them, help you just show up at that super person that you are, delivering your best and loving your job. That's part of the things we do. A lot of people think their job is their problem, but they discover that they happen to be the problem. So we work with you to become the best version of yourselves. And we also work with organizations. So I wrote this book, The Abundance Code, and it's been a phenomenal one. Chinere has read it and she has great feedback about the book. I'll recommend it to everyone. If you truly want to, unlock the abundance and truly achieve success in your personal and professional life, you need to get this book. You see, when people hear abundance code, they think it's all about money. No. It's beyond money. It's holistic to help you be able to acquire that mindset that can help you become an entrepreneur, but live your best version of life and just live amazingly well. So you can get this book, whether it's soft copy or hard copy. You can order it from Robin Heights. I'll make the link. Chinyere has the link. She can share it. And you can also follow me on LinkedIn, Oludaya Adeniyi. Feel free to send me a message. We can have a discussion. The book is 10,000 naira. If you order from Robin Heights, they'll deliver to your doorstep. Yeah. Second day you have your book already. So that's basically what I do. If you need my services in any way, you want a personal coach, you want somebody to help you with your goals, you are getting into 2025 right now, and you need someone to hold you by the hand to achieve your goals, just send me a message on LinkedIn and we can work together. So thank you so much. That's a bit about us.
Over to you, Ugonna. Thank you, Oludayo. Ugonna, over to you, please.
All right, thanks, Chinere, and thanks, Oludayo. Amazing stuff you're doing. Big congrats on your book and well done. All right, so basically I'm co-founder and CEO at Figo. Figo is a business-to-business wholesale marketplace and a software-as-a-service platform that enables businesses, SMEs particularly, to source goods directly from a verified network of suppliers and manufacturers. So just think Alibaba, but for the African market. right? Our vision is to scale Figure to become the Alibaba of Africa and to become Africa's largest wholesale marketplace. We're already the largest in Nigeria in certain metrics like number of product SKUs, number of verified suppliers, and so on. So for different kinds of SMEs, whether you're running a supermarket, restaurants, bakery, you're a wholesaler, event planner, whatever kind of business you do that requires you buying goods in bulk, Figure is the platform that makes it easier, faster, and cheaper for you to buy goods in bulk directly from manufacturers and major suppliers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gunnar. Thank you, Oludayo. And thanks to Eximius for releasing you. And thanks to Figure for also giving you to us to speak to us this evening. Thank you very much. We really appreciate. And like I said earlier, for me, I have learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I'm going back to think through all that we have learned this evening. I'm going to, marry with what I'm doing currently and see the areas that I need to improve in my life. Okay, and it's also important to note that this video, we're going to be hosting it on our YouTube page. So you can go to our YouTube page, the Intrapreneurs Tribe. You are going to see the video for the last webinar, and also this one. We're going to be hosting it there. You could go back, replay the videos, pick the lessons from there, look into your life and see the areas that you need to improve. For me, like I said, I am going to improve myself. I've already begun the journey. I've already begun the journey of that improvement. And I'm sure come 2025, a lot of changes are going to happen in my life. And also it's important to also let us know that we're going to be having our January edition also. The January edition will be coming up either on the 2nd or the 3rd week of January. I implore everyone to also log on and join. It's been a fantastic journey for me. I'm learning a lot. And I believe that you too, you are learning. Thank you once again to Ludayo. Thank you to Ugonna for giving us your time, and even to for allowing us to extend the time. I told you it's going to be 1 hour 30 minutes, but you gave us additional 15 minutes. That's really wonderful. It's a sacrifice from your own end. Thank you, and God bless. And thanks to everyone that joined this meeting. God bless you all.
Thank you. It was amazing. Thanks to everyone for joining. Thank you, Ludayo. Learned a lot as well. Very fantastic meeting you. Thanks to everyone. Good evening, guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, Chinere, for having me. Thank you, everyone. Compliments of the season.
Yeah, compliments.
Bye-bye.
Compliments. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.